Hey guys, so I just picked up this title on Amazon. It was half off, and I wanted to give it another try since my initial viewing back in 2018 was kind of mixed. And that's Raging Bull from Martin Scorsese, starring Robert De Niro and Joe Pesci. Mixed feelings on this one. So Martin Scorsese, of course, a famous American film director, most notably directed Taxi Driver, this film, Goodfellas, The Departed, and the most recent The Irishman and Wolf of Wall Street. I think that's his most famous. If I leave something out, I'm sorry. But at this point in his career, it was 1980. He had already directed Mean Streets, Taxi Driver, won the Palme d'Or for that one, and eventually he was in the throes of drug abuse, and he thought that this was going to be his last movie that he was going to make, and was very involved with every bit of production on this movie, and and it does show, especially in the editing choices that was made with Thelma Schoonmaker, I believe her name is the editor. But in terms of the story and what I find mixed, so what the story is about, it's about a boxer, Jake LaMotta, who was one of the better middleweights during the mid '40s to the 1950s. Most famously fought Sugar Ray Robinson in, I believe, 6 matches, which boxing is not like that now. But back in the day, yeah, you fought like every single month. So with that being said, LaMotta was, of course, known for taking punches, um, known for being just this raging bull, hence the title, and eventually won the middleweight crown, which it depicts in this movie here. And really, what I kind of criticize the movie for is that it's a sketch on LaMotta's life rather than like an encapsulation, maybe. I think that if you would have had that, you would have had a miniseries, right? So you can't just put like all of a life on film, of course. But with that being said, it is more of like a sketch than I would like it to be. I remember the first hour of this movie, and spoiler alerts here, but in the first hour of the movie, I think that there was a lot of romantic relationships with Jake and Vicky, and a full hour was dedicated to setting this up, and for the latter half, in between his exploits in the ring, and at the end, supposed to have this fall. Well, I think that this character of Jake LaMotta that they made on the screen was just way too one-dimensional for me. That's why that I hence sketch within it, because he really doesn't have a moment of clarity until he's in jail at the end. But we really don't see like complex emotions from him. Of course, maybe he was made to be like this not brainless fighter or what have you, but didn't know how good he had it. Maybe. I really don't know. There wasn't a whole lot of sympathy that you can give LaMotta, but I don't think that the film was designed to do so. It was more of like a life that isn't really tackled upon. There's really no Jake LaMotta is insecure. We know that. We know that he's not really able to control his own life, even in the ring, because the mob controls most of what he's able to do. Even the movie depicts that he had to take a dive in order to get a title shot, right? Because the mob controlled that at the time, and I believe that was true in real life. So it's just everything. And so you kind of feel bad that he's like sort of this caged animal in his personal life and what he's able to do as an occupation. And yeah, you could kind of feel sorry for him in that way, but it's just that the way that this was shot, it was such. And I will say this: the cinematography in this movie is absolutely excellent. One of the best black and white looking films you're going to ever look at, and this Criterion 4K is absolutely astonishing. It's wonderful. So they did a great job on that. The extras, the audio. Well, one thing I will say about the audio is that I was a boxing guy for a long time whenever I was a kid. And I learned about all these great boxers, Joe Louis, well, Joe Louis, Jack Dempsey, mostly the heavyweights. And but when it came to bringing like historical context to the actual story of Raging Bull, it was concentrated into the ring announcer, if you can tell, like especially when he's like fighting Sardan and later fights, there is historical context being brought upon by the announcer, but the audio is so low with his voice that you can barely hear what's going on because the crowd is so loud. So I don't know if that was my system or if it just wasn't calibrated right, but it's kind of murky and lost. And I think that some people just will not get that. And some people might not even want to know that because, hey, it's about a sketch about a boxer instead of just bringing up historical context. That's not really important, right? But I think it's important to say like what the stakes were. I think that because people don't know with Sugar Ray Robinson, I mean, he's top five middleweight of all time, right? No, sorry. Top five pound for pound boxer who ever lived. That's saying a lot because there's a lot of fighters that's been around for like the past 100 years, right? So I think that it would have been cooler to give it that, but at the end of the day, your mileage may vary. You might not even like that, but I think I would have liked it a lot more if it would have brought that up. So, all in all, Raging Bull, I think, is more of just a sketch of a life more than a full encapsulation. And because of that, it gives this arid sort of vibe about it. Even in the emotional scenes where Jake is going into his family, to his brother's house and assaulting his brother, beating up his wife, just dastardly stuff. But it's passed along so quickly that we are not really given this emotional overcurrent of that. And I do feel that the editing kind of undercuts that as well. And I think the film is edited very well. It's lauded for its editing, but like I said, it's not. I'm not expecting like a whole John Cassavetes like give it like 20 minutes worth of despair or what have you. But I think that there needs to be some. It's like I never got like any sense of emotion from the secondary characters as well around the gravity of or well around the around the stratosphere of Jake LaMotta's life. And I think that that was a issue too. So overall, if you like Raging Bull, of course, get the Criterion and such. But as far as like a film story goes, it was very disappointing. But of course, Scorsese would go on to make other very entertaining movies. But in terms of like the emotional weight and stuff, it was very lacking, which was disappointing. But again, go ahead, get the Criterion because it's has three commentaries, I believe, and the audio besides that one part of the announcer and above all, the picture quality is just brilliant. It's just done very, very well. Scorsese oversaw the whole transfer of the picture. So definitely give it a watch. And thank you so much again for watching this video. Like, subscribe, comment, what have you. Thank you.